Ross in Baltimore, listening on Sirius XM. Hey, Ross, what's up?
Hey, Tom. I just wanted to call and point out how ludicrous it was that your last guest continued to repeat over and over that the subject of the case was just the mom taking care of her kids. What he's attempting to do is to devalue that work, to make it seem as if it's absolutely superfluous that the state would pay her. What he's ignoring by doing so, by just falling into this same conservative argument we see that devalues labor, is that somebody has to pay to care for that child regardless of who is being paid. We have made a decision as a country that we will take care of these kids because they are born with these disabilities that preclude them from living a normal life. We care for them through Medicaid, and we care for them through daily activities. Somebody must take care of that child, and to devalue that work is ridiculous. My cousin takes care of her brother, who was born with cerebral palsy and who's developmentally disabled. Is it fair to say that she is just a sister taking care of her brother when she spends untold hours, many of them off the clock, and she barely scrapes by making minimum wage? I think she makes less than $20,000.
Yeah, I saw this. I saw the same thing in my family. I have a cousin whose daughter, Amanda, was born with spina bifida, and she lived until she was about 20 years old. But her intellect she never even became verbal. Right? Her intellectual capacity was never beyond that of maybe a 1-year-old, and that was a hell of a job for my cousin and her husband. And they were living on government assistance. And then they were providing real. I mean, it was real work. It was real work taking care of that girl.
Right. And again, somebody has to do it. So it makes the most sense for us to pay a person who can truly be an advocate.
Yeah.
My cousin is always going to be a better advocate for her brother than a random state employee.
Yeah.
But she still has to live.
Right. And to say that she's just a mom is to devalue her work because of a blood relationship or because she's a female. And I think that that's a horrible, horrible argument. Ross, thank you very much for the call. Excellent point. And listening on WCPT in Wheaton, you wanted to weigh in on this.
That's very interesting because I feel exactly the same way. He had to keep repeating over and over and over again that she's just a mom taking care of her son who is disabled. I mean, it was disgusting, and I think that you kept your composure. It was wonderful of you, Tom. But I honestly think this is about making the validation of women.
Yeah, the vast majority of these...
take away our dependence, create more dependent women. Take away our independence.
The vast majority of people who are caring for a family member and doing so with a small government stipend or paycheck or whatever you want to call it are women, A, and B, many of the home health care workers, probably the vast majority of them are women. And this is, and here we have another conservative saying just a mom, just a woman.
Just a mom. He said that over and over and over again. I mean, he reiterated the fact that it's not important.
Yeah, we need to take this a step beyond all this stuff, I think, and even point out the fact that housewives, like my mother never worked outside the house. And she should have, when my dad died and she was retired, essentially, she should have been able to draw Social Security as if she had worked. We should value work, whether that work is in a factory or whether that work is raising children, and we don't in this country. We should give it a monetary value, at least for things like retirement. And if it's the really seriously, exceptionally hard work of caring for a disabled child, we should even allow those workers to unionize, to be able to have a collective voice to negotiate for what they're being paid for really, really difficult work. And thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it.